The Square Ball Podcast.
Welcome to the show. It's brought to you in association with Levi Solicitors. levisolicitors.co.uk/the square ball. 10% discount on your legal fees. Extended to 15% for a limited time, Michael, on
Wills Probate Conveyancing.
Wills
Big
Probate
three.
and Conveyancing.
Big three.
Say it again.
Wills Conveyancing Probate.
Love it when you do that. Details of that extended discount on the Phil Hay Monday Club. Have a look at that in your podcast feed. Part 3 of the show is Heroes and Villains. The Ken Bates Villain of the Week award is what we kick this off with. We've subdivided this into various categories, including resurrecting your book of petty grievances, Moscow, which was a theoretical book when this show was audio only, but it was theatre of the mind, wasn't it? Pretending we had a book where you wrote down your petty grievances. Here it is again, this virtual book. What's going in it?
Well, I mean, leaving aside the petty grievances, the main candidates were just everyone for this week.
Okay.
Overwhelmingly, people just wanted to put the whole thing in a big old bin. And I think Victor also was probably fairly fortunate with the timing as well, because people had already filled out the feedback form long before the Sunday night news came, when there was a big old meltdown about that as well. So he managed just to get a couple, does Victor. But yeah, generally speaking, everyone and everything to do with Leeds United this week.
Yeah, I mean, Andy's dad, nominated by Andy for basically passing it down the generations. I get a nomination for coming back from my little break in Derbyshire, messing up the vibes. You get a nomination, Michael, for depleting, I think, the boost supplies, because you got them all here. You stockpiled them here.
Can I also lodge a petty grievance against Michael, because he keeps saying that the John Kiven Augustin news was Sunday night and it was Monday night?
Yeah.
Well, it was a long weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's difficult to know.
It was Easter, wasn't it?
Anybody who missed the early shows will be wondering what happened on Sunday night. So this time I'm going to correct you and be petty.
Okay.
Right, hit me with some genuine candidates then. Sort of everyone, Leeds United, the concept was the front runner here by most, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, people individually picked out players-wise. Ayling got a few. I feel bad reading out the nasty things people are saying about Ayling.
Don't then.
All right, I won't.
Yeah, people were unhappy with him. And he's getting it over a longer term. People are unhappy with him because he was so good, and in recent games he has been so bad. And then Roker and McKennie are getting a very compressed version of that, where they've had joint nominations for being good on Tuesday and bad on Sunday. So it's the lessons seem to be never be good, because people then won't be able to handle you being bad. So take that on board, Luke. Go back in time and just stay at Bristol, frankly, so that people will not say that your legacy is heading for tatters, because you were good once and now
a spent force,
you're
championship
not.
grade.
I think
Embarrassing end. Oh,
Roy Hodgson is nominated outside the Leeds four walls. Korea White's Josh mentions Hodgson. Where was this attacking masterclass versus Iceland in 2016? Which I think is an absolutely fair comment.
it is.
And again, there's Roy Hodgson is somebody who is consistently rewriting his legacy. So I am fully in support of Luke Ayling staying at right back until he is 74 for Leeds, just so we can finally, he can keep correcting the record as he goes. How many times Roy Hodgson has been written off, and now look at him lording it over everybody.
Did like Jelly's comment that Roy Hodgson should be sucking on Werther's originals and giving his great-grandchildren pound coins covered in pocket fluff, not masterminding our relegation. To the old folks' home with your man.
He's quietly living the reality of Neil Warnock's presumed life, because some of the stories after him taking the job were that she was pretty sick of him being around the house since Palace, and so when this job, Watford, when he left that job, so when this came up, it was a real world version of saying, I think you should take that, Roy. I think it'd be good for you if you go and do that job, which is what we always imagine is happening to Neil Warnock. But
Got a proposal for you, lads.
is it from the wife of a elderly football manager?
It's not. I think we should give this to Jesse Marsh.
For what reason?
Just those USMNT weirdos who keep tweeting us saying, Jesse didn't get this kind of result earlier in the season. I think we should give it to Jesse just to piss them off.
I mean, it's an option.
It's not mature, but it's the kind of level I operate at.
Yeah, I think it was that Barstool Sports account tweeted a picture of Jesse Marsh saying something like, "You don't know what you've got till it's gone," or something.
We knew exactly what we had.
And I thought,
we?
yeah, still would have got rid of him. I'd have got rid of him sooner. I mean, it's harsh, probably.
It's also, we should bear in mind that the vast majority of Leeds United's American supporters are sensible, well-rounded individuals.
Moscow, I'm deliberately trying to filter them out because we know the good ones that we want to retain. Those ones with the Twitter account, with the blue ticks that they've paid for.
A lot of them have been with us for a long time as well.
Aye.
So I'm wary of
trashing the listenership.
Well, yes.
No, I think there's a
just because,
and I am poking
some
fun at it.
people are horrible on Twitter. It's like, I mean, you could just nominate Twitter.
I am just poking fun at it. You know that.
I think there's a dividing line, isn't there, between people who are Leeds fans and people who are like fans of American players, stroke managers.
Yeah,
there's a clear line there.
Yeah,
people who have been, House of Stoats, find people like that.
So is the thing you actually want to nominate is Jesse Marsh's internet fan club?
Very good. Thank you for digging me out of this hole, Moscow.
I think
appreciate it.
We can nominate Jesse Marsh, I think, for not managing to land one of the 2 jobs he went for, because that would have just alleviated this. It would be not our problem then, wouldn't it?
They would have followed, wouldn't they? The fan club.
I was disappointed he didn't take a Leicester job. I was looking forward to that. I mean, Dean Smith is an equally hilarious appointment, in fairness, so maybe it's okay.
John Terry's there as well.
Yeah, all the hits.
Wasn't Rory saying the other week that John Terry was going back to Chelsea?
Why are you calling him Rory? He's not your friend. He shouldn't. And
he referred to him as Rosa before we started recording. Our dog
needs the Rosas to visit him. I don't know what for.
Don't make any allegations. That's what I think.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, sorry, I should have mentioned him. Chelsea Rory Jennings, that's his name, isn't it?
Yeah, the Chelsea simpleton.
Yeah, I'm sure he said that they were getting. It was going to be a great day because it's not only Frank Lampard, it's John Terry and Ashley Cole.
Have you considered that Rory is just some idiot who doesn't know what he's talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe he's...
I should have recognised that in myself as well.
Right, come on then, let's give a winner out.
Should we give it to a pensioner just for a laugh?
Yeah. I mean, he has genuinely caused me the most misery this week.
And did let his country down in 2016. I think it's fair to say we should have been singing it out still. I know it was a long time ago, but I think it would have been perfectly acceptable to still sing it.
And not to go to Frank Lampard, but shaking hands with your staff before full time. What happened to the code?
Yeah.
So that was pretty cocky. I mean, we could have come back at that point.
I'm quite offended by that now.
Yeah, it was.
Everyone's offended at everything these days.
It wasn't full time. There was still a chance that we could have come back and at least equalised. And there he was, acting like the game was won long in advance. So for his lack of class, and also for his refusal to still dress like a detective, which is how he did in the 1980s when he was in Sweden. He looked really cool. So because he stopped doing that as well. There's 2 good reasons, I think, to nominate him.
And Leeds United, book your ideas up. Fair?
Yeah. No more of that.
Player of the year, we've had a whole bunch of scores piling in. Javi scoring very well for Forest, against Forest, but rather. The top scorer with 8.82 out of 10. Not so good against Palace.
Yeah, Palace was the low mark of the season. An average across all players of 2.68.
Wow.
The referee
was our best player.
He's included on the scores and has never been the best until now. Comfortably the best. The referee receiving 5.17. Pat Bamford next best, 3.71. So not a good day. Not a good day at all. Down the bottom, as I already mentioned, Ayling just pipped to the wooden spoon by Jorginho Rutter. He got 1.74, Ayling 1.76.
Rutter has been punished possibly because he doesn't have any credit in the bank and he fell over.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have much time, did he?
No.
On the plus side. The real winners out of this, player of the year wise, are Max Verber and Tyler Adams because they didn't play, so weren't involved in this season ruining shit show.
System's been undone, hasn't it, by the fact that they're injured and it's helping them.
I think Dan James is about 6th on this list because he was here at the start of the season.
Yeah, Matches Click is top 5.
Yeah. We maybe need to apply some
different rules.
Give it clicky.
I'm going to speak to Victor Otto spreadsheet people and see if they can apply some algorithms to it to make a fairer judgment. Yeah, because Willie Nonto He's been dragged down to under 7 now.
If Dan James and Matches Click end up sharing our Player of the Season award, I will have no objections to that. I will happily allow that to happen.
As for other awards, Gaetano Berardi Hero of the Week is the other award we give out. Now, Leeds candidates, non-Leeds candidates, who have we got? And plus people that are outside of our sort of Leeds sphere.
Bamford got some nominations.
Mm-hmm.
Got his 50th
goals.
goal.
Yeah. Not to be sneezed at.
Which he didn't know about either, apparently, did he? Did you see his post-match interview? Someone, I can't remember which broadcaster it was, congratulated him on his milestone, and he was like, what do you mean? And then they said 50 goals, and he was like, oh, was it? Okay, good. And but he was clarifying that he was celebrating with the bench because that was a set piece they'd worked on, as opposed to because it was 50 goals for him, which is what they were implying. So I suppose, good.
Well done.
Score some more, though.
Well done for doing your job. That's how I feel about this week. Forshaw got a mention just
someone who's barely done his job at all for 3 years.
Just for still being alive.
Yeah, strange to see him. I thought he was on the sort of pre-match video, wasn't he? He was walking into the stadium, and I think everyone took a sharp intake of breath when they saw him. Like, he's not dead.
A sighting. There have been various sort of non-Leeds candidates, all related to Easter, resurrection, renewal, death. Even gets a mention.
Yeah, House of Stoats says mortality itself, the redeeming quality of life, is that someday I will die and I won't have to see Brendan Aronson ever kick a ball again.
Aww.
Oh, well. Who else is on there?
What? Wolves, pie seller, Korean bloke.
Yeah, the pie in the West Stand, according to Swampy, was the only half-decent thing about Sunday's trip to Elland Road. So well done to the... He's given credit to the pie seller. I would have thought the pie maker would get some of that as well. So let's say the entire farm-to-table process involved in...
The military pie industrial complex.
In getting a pie to Swampy.
And it not being
Which
on the...
once upon a time, you would have just had to go underneath the second runway at Manchester Airport to hand that pie over. But now it's good that it can just be given to him in the West Stand.
You could just
Elland
lick
Road.
that one off the West Stand wall if it's still there. I know they've had a bit of a tidy up. We've got new hand dryers going in across the stadium, which is good. Well done, everybody. If that pie is no longer on the wall, can't lick it off, but I would rather have licked that pie, that 2-year-old pie, than watch that game. That second half, anyway.
Yeah, it wasn't great, was it? Wolves nominated for... See, they're nominated for giving Fat Frank a football lesson. But we kind of needed Frank to win that game, didn't we? He let us down very badly.
Yeah, my bold prediction that
You've just referred to him as Frank.
He's friends with all the Chelsea people. Ken.
JT.
Yeah, John, as you like to call him, Johnny.
Yeah.
Jody.
Michael, are you out of touch with the Leeds fan base? Have you become like this Chelsea monster now?
I like Chelsea. I like United. I like all those. I like
all those guys.
All those guys.
But yeah, it was a bold prediction that Chelsea would beat Wolves, and everyone would think Lampard was a hero, and then get smashed by Real Madrid. I'm still, it's Wednesday lunchtime as we're recording this, still quite confident in the second part of that prediction, because essentially the world will be an unbearable place if Chelsea beat Real Madrid.
Should we preemptively give it to Real Madrid for beating them tonight?
I mean, we could let... now, this is where my memory of things... I know it's not normally a problem. Let's see. Because Real Madrid and Wolves could share it because it would be in honour of them. They played each other under floodlights.
Yep.
No, it's some 1950s thing.
Yeah, 1957. I'm trying to work out if that was the first thing. So let's say...
what was the atmosphere like that night? Was it good?
17th of October, 1957, Real Madrid's reputation took a hefty knock as they went down 3-2 to Stankolas' men in front of more than 55,000 supporters. And yeah, Wolves also beat several top sides from across Europe and even a South Africa 11 during a variety of friendly matches under the floodlights of Molineux.
Should we give it to floodlights?
There is a quiz. Do you want to do the quiz?
No.
It's 12 questions about Wolves opponents in the floodlight friendlies. Let's do it. Play quiz.
Red Star
right.
Belgrade.
So, 30th of September 1953, they won 3-1
Hibs
against a South Africa 11, Bucharest, Maccabi Tel Aviv, or Valencia.
I don't care.
Valencia.
Okay.
Nah, it wouldn't have been
No,
Valencia.
it's South Africa. Next one.
Please stop.
10th of March 1954, won 3-1 against Schalke 04, Spartak Moscow, Racing Club Buenos Aires or Barcelona?
Barcelona.
Barcelona. No, it was Racing Club.
Can you stop now?
28th of October 1954, won 10-0.
I'm just going to have to turn your mic off.
Porto, Borussia Dortmund, Dinamo Moscow or Maccabi Tel Aviv?
If you've got any effects buttons on there, you can press.
Come on, guess.
I don't know.
The last one.
We keep going until you get one right.
Tel Aviv.
Yay!
Get it.
So we got one right.
I
so
could
you
play
can
the
stop now.
I could play the match ball production over him.
It was a good quiz, Moscow. I'm sorry,
Thanks, I enjoyed
sorry
it,
for
yeah.
spoiling it.
I've never heard of Vorwärts Berlin.
No, I'm not in the mood for a quiz today. Are you?
Vorwärts Berlin.
We'll leave him to this.
Yeah, I'm
Or what's and all.
doing what I'm doing now. Oh,
I think we should give it to Floodlights anyway.
that makes no sense.
Because we're back under the floodlights on Monday. They'll be our lucky charm. We had the best floodlights in the world at one point.
Yeah.
Real Madrid are going to do Chelsea under the floodlights.
This is
Fine.
interesting.
Fine.
Right. What? So, Vorwärts Berlin.
Oh, please do tell.
What do you think they're called now?
Oh, sorry, I was trying to look at the Tennis Berlin.
Nope.
That's the team.
Union Berlin.
Nope.
FC Berlin.
Nope.
Berlin
You're
FC.
close.
Berlin FC.
Nope.
Paris Saint-Germain.
Nope. But now you're closer than you have been so far.
Oh. Is it no longer in Germany somehow?
Berlin Saint-Germain.
It's still in Germany.
Okay.
Wolfsburg.
RB Leipzig.
I'll just tell you now. It's
Please do.
Eins Fußball Club Frankfurt. So 1FC Frankfurt. I'd need to properly read the...
I mean, that's not in Berlin, is it?
No,
It's a
so
long
I
way.
think they must have moved. That's my theory. They were in Leipzig at one point. They've been all over the place. What a funny old world. But I guess that's what happens when there's wars and iron curtains and all these kinds of things.
Are we,
But
are we giving it to Floodlights?
did
then?
Wolves beat them? Not in that game.
Let's give it to the Berlin Wall.
What are we giving it to, please? Moscow. Floodlights, please. Just let's. Just so we
yeah,
can-
that's fine by me.
Yeah, Michael Floodlights.
Or Pat Bamford, whatever.
Will's Probate Conveyancing.
One of the three.
Right, there we go. An undecided hero of the week.
Floodlights.
Floodlights.
I mean, okay, Pat Bamford and Floodlights are incompatible because if you remember that game against
Yeah.
Luton,
The blinding.
yeah, they blinded him. So are we happy with giving it to Floodlights?
we've
given
got different Floodlights now, though.
they went full PJ and Duncan on Pat Bamford,
One for the kids there.
like a paintball to him.
And held the cost of the same night. I think
Yeah.
it's time for those Floodlights to redeem themselves, both tonight in the European Cup and on Monday when we beat Liverpool.
Okay, fine. Floodlights.
And we've constructed a stupid narrative around it. Thanks. That's the end of the show. Can we go now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we will do. We're going to talk about money on another separate show, aren't we? Money being mad in football. Look out for that in your feeds. We will be back next week with more of the same nonsense.
Well, hopefully a bit more enjoyment.
And, of course, a triumphant match ball on Monday night. We'll speak to you in a bit.
The Square Ball Podcast.